Round 4 of the Italian F.4 Championship heads to Monza as we get ready to go racing for 3 more events. This is going to take us now officially into the second half of the season. 32 drivers out there in total. Race 1 will be coming up for you today. Races 2 and 3 tomorrow. We have a championship leader who is in the course of trying to run away with things, but that changed slightly in our last outing at Spa. This though, a track very hard to run away from anyone. We can see Monza, the grid is all set. Let's go to Lara now and hear from some of our drivers.
First pole position for you in Formula 4. The toe is very strong. It's gonna be hard to break away. Have you a strategy?
I don't really have a strategy. I will just focus on myself, drive clean, have fun, and we see what I can do.
Thank you.
Our pole sitter, Brando Baduer, taking his very first pole position in the Italian F4 Championship, looking for his first win, and I think he summed it up nicely. The Italian racer for Van Amersfoort Racing there. Not really a strategy. It's hard to make one around this circuit. He's got championship leader Arvid Lindblad aside him and Tuukka Tappinen just behind. Let's hear from him now.
First time for you racing here at Monza. Do you feel you are learned enough and to got on another win after Misano?
Yeah, I think it's a good chance. It will be really exciting racing here in Monza because you can get so much effect from the slipstream, so I'm really waiting for it.
Good to hear from the Ferrari Driver Academy member there, Tuukka Tappinen, who will start directly behind Italian Brando Baduer, who has both Prema drivers just behind him. Arvid Lindblad to the left of screen there, the Red Bull Junior. He is our championship leader, 25.5 points ahead of Ugo Ugachukwu. And then we have Tuukka Tappinen just behind him. Ivan Dominguez will be on the second row. So 2 Van Amersfoort cars and 2 Prema racing cars on the front 2 rows. Well, I'm Chris McCarthy, and new voice to the championship only for this round. Don't worry, Ian Salvestreen is at another WSK event over in Sarno. Hello to you, Ian. You are deeply missed. He will be back next round for the remainder of the season. Here is your grid, though. Brando Baduer, his first pole position, alongside him, championship leader Arvid Lindblad. Tuukka Tappinen, who won at Monza, is next on the second row with him. Ivan Dominguez, who had a really bad round here last year, so he'll be hoping to change that this time. James Wharton next, 3 podiums and 2 wins at Spa last time. Let's see if he can add to those. Kasper Stuka come next, who had a 4-place grid job. We'll go through those in more detail in a sec. Ugo Ugachukwu needs to make places, his championship rival. 5 positions up the road. He is next with Gianmarco Pradel. Then we have Nicolas Leclerc. Next, he rounds out the top 10 with Akshay Bora. A couple of 4th places for Akshay so far. Let's see if he can make his way into the top 10. Nicola Lacorte, a winner back at Imola. Then the Alpine Academy driver, Mateus Ferreira, is next with James Agozi. Ariel Elkin is going to be on row 7 with Valentin Kloos, who starts from P14, has been very consistent so far. Jack Beaton is next with Alfio Spina. Rashid Al-Daheri will be on row number 5 with Rafael Merak. And then we have Aurelia Nobels, the Ferrari Academy member. She comes next with Ryuki Liu, rounding out the top 20. Zachary David is next. Real surprise to see him so far down. He did take a couple of places, grid drop, but 3rd in the championship, starts P21. He will be definitely one to watch. Nandavid Birambakti is after that. Then we have Tina Hausman and Ethan Isher. Matteo Quintarelli is next with Finn Wiebelhaus. Frederick Lund will be on row 14 with Andrea Frasinetti. And rounding out the top 30, it's Diego Della Torre and Guido Lucetti. And then we have Victoria Blokina and Ismail Ahmed. Well, those are the 32 drivers. It was due to be 33. Davide Larini had a crash in Q1 coming through Parabolica or Curve Alboreto and has had to withdraw to the event. He is fine, but sadly the car isn't, and that means that we will not be seeing Davide Larini racing this weekend. So 33 becomes 32. This round 4, race number 1, the first racing action we're going to see around Monza. One of the big talking points yesterday in qualifying. We don't stream the qualifying sessions that took place yesterday afternoon. It was all about getting a tow, basically. If you could find a tow, then you will put in a good lap. They had two 15-minute qualifying sessions to set the grid. This is how they finished in qualifying session 1. This is the grid. It was Brando Badouer, who of course was fastest. Qualifying 2 will form the grid for race number 2, and then the second fastest laps across both sessions form the grid for race 3, and Arvid Lindblad, along with being on pole for race 2, will be on pole for race number 3 as well. Coming through Ascari now, and then down to the final corner. Spoke to Tina Hausmann. If you're watching our videos that we posted yesterday on social media when we took a little walk around the paddock, she's saying when you come through there for the first time, it is just absolutely fantastic. A little bit more used to it now. As you can see, it's absolutely scorching out there as well. 32 degrees air temperature, 44 degrees track temperature on these Pirelli tyres. There will no doubt be an element of tyre saving going on. However, they will want to stay in the tow of the lead group and make as many places as they can. Coming out of Parabolica here, which we're looking at now, it's going to be get in the slipstream and make a run down towards turn number 1. It is very, very powerful, the tow around here, particularly in these F4 cars who can stay close together through the corners. So this is set to be a fantastic race. 30 minutes plus the additional lap at the end we have of it as well. There you can see Mateus Ferreira in the Alpine colours, warming up the tyres as they all are, but on pole position it'll be the Van Amersfoort driver of Brando Badouer. They are the most successful team around here, are Van Amersfoort. 8 wins around this circuit so far. They took all 3 with Ollie Behrman on his way to winning the title in 2021, and all 3 with Dennis Hauger in 2019 as well. So they have a tradition of stealing all victories in a single weekend, but last year it was Prema Racing who took both wins with Charlie Wirtz and eventual champion Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who is here this weekend supporting AKM Motorsport. Prema will be hoping to continue that with some more wins, but if they're going to do so, they're going to need to get past Brando Badouer, who is on pole position. The run down to turn 1, it's going to be who makes it there first. Then it's going to be a battle on the brakes into the first chicane as well. Almost all 32 cars are lined up as we get ready to go racing here at Monza. The last of the drivers just pulling into their grid boxes now. 32 strong car field. Will they all make it to the end? Who will get there first is the question as well. Green flag goes at the back of the field. We await for the lights to the left of screen. The Red Bull Junior and Championship leader Arvid Lindblad, but to the right the Italian trying to get his first win, Brando Badouer, and we are go here at Monza for the first time this weekend. He will lead us down towards turn number 1, and immediately Arvid Lindblad in the Red Bull colours there in the tow pulls to the outside of the circuit. Will he try and go round the outside at the Rettifilio? Not quite. Slots into position. Are we going to get through nice and safely? All cars, let's see, a couple of cars cutting across the chicane, 1 or 2 picking up gravel on the exit, but I think other than that it is a clean start all round. One of the Premas and Van Amersfoort's going side by side. I think that's Ugo Chukwu trying to make a place as we come now down towards the second chicane, and we are side by side for the lead. Arvid Lindblad going round the outside. Has he been able to take the lead? The cameras will pick it up now as they head down to the first of the Lesmos, and he is indeed in the lead. The British driver hits the front here at Monza, and that looked like an attempt from Tuukka Tarppanen as well to go with his teammate. Didn't quite manage to get through. 3-car breakaway at the front already. Ugo Chukwu leads the chasing pack in 4th place. All in a line now as we come down towards Ascari for the first time. And it's Arvid Lindblad who leads. He would have wanted to get into the lead early doors, but it's been a great start from Ugo Chukwu 4th in the queue. He was 7th. Oh no, someone across the gravel there and rejoining in the path of 2 Prema cars, managed to slot into the middle. That was one of the Van Amersfoort cars who went off there and did manage to rejoin, but found himself squeezed in between 2 of the Prema Racing cars. Is giving that place back now and going side by side with one of the US racing cars. Let's pick up who that is. That looks like the number 17, I think that might have been, which is Ivan Dominguez. So Ivan having a bit of a rocky start to the race there. And he's received a black and white flag straight away. Tuukka Tarppanen, Uga Chukwu, sorry, under pressure now in 4th place as they come across the line in towards turn number 1. It's Lindblad, Badouer, Tarppanen, then Uga Chukwu, Kasper Stuka, who received the penalty, grid penalty, is next. Your grid penalties, by the way, we didn't get a chance to go through those, were Rashid Al Dahiri, Aurelia Nobels, Zachary David. Kasper Stuka was due to start on the front row, but received a 4-place grid penalty for his collision with Arvid Lindblad at Spa. And then Victoria Blakina also receiving a penalty for the red flag incident at Spa. So those drivers, a little bit more work to do than they should have had. And Uga Chukwu side by side with Stuka there, it seemed, as we head now into the Rogier chicane. Through Lesmo 1. Coming up to Lesmo 2. Lindblad still leading from Badouer. We're side by side, a little bit further back. That's Mateus Ferreira in the Alpine colours. All sorts of pressure from James Igozi. Let's see, we've had some sort of incident at the first chicane, it appears. Oh, someone running off onto the gravel there. Just managing to rejoin safely. That was Frederick Lund, who found himself skipping across the gravel on the exit of the first chicane. Good move there from Rashid Al Dahiri in the Heat colours, managing to make a move into Ascari, trying to get himself up the order after receiving a 4-place grid penalty for a collision at Spa with Ariel Elkin. Making those places up nicely, it appears. There we see a change. That's Kasper Stuka in the all-black colours going past the red and white Prema of Uga Chukwu, who's under pressure now from his Prema teammate James Wharton, who was on an absolute charge at Spa. James Wharton on an absolute charge here at Monza as well, trying to get past Uga Chukwu, but Uga Chukwu has the toe of Kasper Stuka. Are we going to be 3 wide into the first chicane? I think we are. James Wharton trying to get down the inside, but it's Uga Chukwu, the first of the Prema cars, who gets to the first chicane first, and he is going to make a place. Takes back 4th from Stuka. Next is James Wharton. Nicolas Lacorte next in the red and white Prema car as well. Then just behind that is Akshay Bora. Ivan Dominguez is in 9th place, had that off earlier in the race, so just trying to recover. James Igozi has received a black and white flag as we come into the second chicane now, and that's a move, an attempted move from James Wharton down the inside of Kasper Stuka. Both of them running over the chicane there. So no place is made or lost for either driver. And it's Uga Chukwu leading this queue, but the gap to the drivers ahead, 1.3 seconds. They want to be in that lead group. Arvid Lindblad leading it. Oh, someone running just a little bit wide there. Looked like one of the Prema cars maybe. Might have been James Wharton who kicked up a little bit of gravel, or it could have come from our lead group possibly. And I think it did. It might have been 3rd place, Tuukka Tarppanen, as into Ascari we go. Lindblad wrestling with the car already there, trying to do his best to escape from Badouer, but Badouer has been equal to everything Lindblad has put in so far as we head down to Parabolica now, and you can see Badouer pulling out the toe. Has he got enough of a run to get down the inside of Arvid Lindblad? Well, Arvid Lindblad will say, through you go, and I'll slot into the toe down the start-finish straight. So it's the Italian who leads once again here at Monza. Clean racing at the front so far, just under 25 minutes left on the clock as we head down towards the first corner, and now we're looking back at our 2 leaders, and Arvid Lindblad will get in the toe, pulled to the outside of Brando Badouer, and will retake the lead, will he, just like that? Well, Badouer is trying to fight with him down towards turn number 1, and Badouer is going to hold on, to my surprise, and to Lindblad's surprise as well, I'm sure. Brando Badouer back into the lead of the race for Van Amersfoort Racing. 3 Prema cars all in chase behind. Then it is Kasper Stuka for US Racing next. Lindblad has got the run now up to the second chicane through Curva Grande. He's going to pull to the outside, and now down to the next chicane we go, and it's going to be Arvid Lindblad getting himself back into the lead. Great driving from the Red Bull Junior. Oh no, that's Uga Chukwu who ran off onto the gravel there. He will be vulnerable now from Kasper Stuka. A replay here of some action towards the back, and that's the 86 car of Della Torre who ran off through Ascari. This is what happened when we saw Wharton and Stuka go side by side, both of them running off, and it was indeed the third place car of Tuukka Tarponen who did run wide out of Lesmo 2, kicked up that gravel. An incident a bit further back as well, a car spinning, one of the Prema cars coming to a spin there. That's the number 16, unfortunately, which is Aurelia Nobels. Found herself facing the wrong way, collision with another car. Let's hope that she is able to get going again. Leaders, though, are making their way down to Curva Alboreto now. This lap number 4, we still have just over 22 minutes remaining, plus the additional lap in this race, and it's 4 in the line for the lead here. They make their way down to turn 1. Lindblad and Badouer going neck and neck, but there's only 1.5 seconds between our top 5, as this is one of the Van Amersfoort cars coming under pressure. That's Ivan Dominguez, who's going to be passed from Jean-Marco Pradel. Just ahead of that side-by-side as well were Wharton and Lecorte was it. We see them side-by-side, but that's Wharton and Bora who are side-by-side, and Wharton getting through in the red and white Prema. Bora slots in behind, and they're side-by-side behind that with Dominguez and Pradel. Dominguez losing a place, so he's dropped down to 10th place. Pradel coming up to 9th place, and 2 of the Premas side by side for 3rd as well. That's going to be Tarponen going past Uga Chukwu for 3rd. Defending position perhaps, as that looked like Akshay Bora running across the chicane in the background. Trying to fight away with James Wharton here, who's had a difficult few minutes of this race, was once with the lead group, has now fell away from it. They need to try and get back through. Fighting with Akshay Bora, getting back the position, so that leaves him P7 as they head their way down to Ascari. But look at those top 5 drivers. We've got one in chase as well in Nicola Lecorte. The Italian trying to go with them there, 6th in queue. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at the back there, Nicola Lecorte trying to go with our leaders. 1 second back from the top 5. Can Nicola Lecorte do it? We haven't really given an update on Zachary David there. He is in P17 so far, started out of the top 20 in 21st place. Had a 2-place grid drop, remember, and he is trying to make his way back forward. A difficult qualifying session for him. Whoa, big swapper there for Uga Chukwu. And now he's going to be in danger of being passed by Kasper Stuka here as we head down the start-finish straight. Lindblad with just enough of a gap to not need to defend him, but Uga Chukwu definitely has to defend there. You can notice him with that silver crash helmet. He defending to the inside. Kasper Stuka to the outside, being very aggressive in his attempts there, Kasper Stuka, but Uga Chukwu has held on. I'll tell you what, in a very hot commentary box, I don't know how I'm going to last to the end of the race if it keeps up like this here. Kasper Stuka once again getting on the attack as they come round Curva Grande and down to the Rogia chicane. Stuka to the outside, side by side for 4th place. Is Stuka going to be able to go round the outside? Surely not. He's going to give it a go. Runs over the chicane, and will Stuka now have to give that place back? Well, Uga Chukwu would definitely think that he does. Stuka just cutting across the chicane. He'll argue he had nowhere else to go. But for now, it's going to be Stuka in 4th, Uga Chukwu 5th, Lecorte next in 6th. What about James Wharton? Well, he is 2.2 seconds back from our lead 6. And it is now, I guess we can call a lead 6. Broke into 2 groups. Here we see Arvid Lindblad leading from Badouer. Tarponen next in 3rd, did well to recover after a little off earlier in the race. He's recovered, and recomposed himself, as we've got debris there on the track, so they're going to have to be careful of that. You can see the train just pulling right. Oh, one of the Prema cars noticing it very late there. Let's hope they can all get through that without any problems. But oh, one of the cars towards the back there, in a train of cars, missing it quite late, and I imagine this is where it came from. One of the RHGP cars running straight over the chicane there. That was Quintarelli, and it could have been the debris that came off his car. That's just a guess though, and we can't confirm that completely, as we see our leaders now coming down to the first chicane. Defending into Rettifilio, there is Uga Chukwu, big lock up from him. Kasper Stuka can't get past behind. Lindblad's put in the fastest lap. The lead group beginning to break up. Racing around Monza can be just like watching cycling, the Tour de France. You have to work with each other to make sure you're in that breakaway group. I guess we can call this the peloton in that case, next behind in the lower order of the top 10, but you need to almost tow each other around to try and catch the likes of Lindblad. But one thing the drivers will all know is eventually the leaders will battle with each other. Stuka defending now in picture there to the outside. That is Nicolas Lacorte. He did a fantastic job to close the gap down, and he will not be in the mood to wait around here. He'll want to get past as soon as possible and see if he can make more places. Okay, we're approaching half race distance now. James Wharton comes next. Then it's Akshay Bora, having a really good race so far, was very impressive in qualifying. Was challenging for pole. Someone lost their front wing there. Was that the RSGP car, I wonder, that we saw go over the Ascari chicane? Quintarelli, possibly. He's in the pits, so I think we can call that case closed on that one. Quintarelli in pit lane, sadly. But 2 more races to go this weekend. Where they finish in this race does not affect where they start the next ones, unless they pick up a penalty. Okay, Arvid Lindblad leading round Parabolica and down the start-finish straight. Is Badouer being patient here, or is he going to go for an overtake this time? Lindblad opened the door and waved him through, so is Badouer, after that happened a couple of laps ago, just going to change his tactics here? Is he going to stay patient, sit behind? Well, Lindblad is taking no risks there and goes defensive, but pulls back into the racing line. He's going to have to be careful with that. Making 2 movements down the start-finish straight, can see you pick up a warning flag. And Badouer last time round picking up the fastest lap of the race, 152.992. Here we see a little bit further down the field, the battle's just outside the top 10. As the cars now come out of Roggia into Lesmo 1. Lindblad did indeed pick up a warning flag. Well, no surprise there. Moving to the inside and then going straight back into the path of Badouer is something that is frowned upon by the stewards. Just a warning flag for now, but has to be careful. Down to Ascari, and we are almost at exactly half race distance. Hope you're enjoying the racing you're seeing so far. This is the Italian F.4 Championship, certified by the FIA. This round 4, race 1, 2 more of these coming up tomorrow as well. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, coverage will be brought to you live as we come down to the final corner. Oh, one of the Van Amersfoort cars there, really wrestling away with it, coming through Ascari. They are absolutely pinned as they come out of that corner. Fantastic battles all the way down the order. Here we see Ariel Elkin in the 29. He's running in 11th place. Just behind him, Alfio Spina, just ahead of them. Then we've got Platel and Dominguez. Once again, Lindblad defending. Badouer goes to the outside. This time, no double defense from Lindblad. He's going to let Badouer go to the outside. One thing to bear in mind is this is going to allow the guys behind to catch up. So we can see in 3rd place, Tappanen is already caught up, but don't take your eye off those guys in the background either. Do bear those in mind, but we're side by side for the lead. Round Curva Grande there, trying to get to the inside for the Roggia chicane was Badouer. He's going to change plan and go to the outside now. And Lindblad holding on, but I tell you what, with racing like this, with this much amount of time on the clock, This is going to allow Ugo Chukwu Stuka to catch up, and then we've got Lacorte, Wharton, Bora, Dominguez. They are all there. They're in that chasing pack. But Lindblad does not want to let Badoer get by. He knew how fast he was in qualifying. And he's not taking any risks. He's already allowed him through once in this race. He won't want to do it again. Down to Ascari. What's the plan of Tuukka Tarponen? What's he thinking there in third place? How does he go about this? Does he get past Badoer? And Ugo Chukwu in fourth place. He is championship rival to Arvid Lindblad, who nearly had a gap in the championship of around 50 points, but he did not finish the final race at Spa after a collision with Stuka. And Ugo Chukwu took advantage and closed that championship gap down to 25.5 points. And the American will want to do more damage if he can here in the first race at Monza. He will just hope that they keep battling as they are so he can close in and then he can start making his moves. Are we about to see a move from Brando Badoer once again? Lindblad waiting it. We're very, very late to come across and defend. And Badoer, it's almost like a replay, goes to the outside and slots in behind as we come out the corner. This further back, this is Akshay Bora in the 31 there, the green and black US racing car. He just behind number 13, which is James Wharton, who's going to have to defend now coming round Curva Grande. He might have left it too late though. It looks like Akshay Bora's got the run. Brando Badoer trying to get by coming into the Rogier chicane, and Akshay Bora is going to make a move. Is he going to be able to make it stick? No. James Wharton coming across the chicane. Well, Akshay Bora will not be happy with that at all, and it's all kicking off for the lead. And just like that, Ugo Chukwu is now part of the lead group. 3 becomes 4 and could become 5 very, very quickly, because Kasper Stuka, he is there in the background as well. Down to Ascari on lap 10. Lacorte closing in, the 2 Prema cars going almost side by side. Ugo Chukwu's going to go to the outside, tries to sell the dummy and get back across to the inside. Can't quite do it. Stays in behind, and this is his chance to make a move. The American has got to get by now, got to get past his teammate if he can. But Tuukka Tarponen, no slouch himself, and he has got his eye on a win to add to the win he already picked up a little bit earlier in the season. Oh, incident there. We see 2 cars coming together. The 87, the victim of that one, Frederick Lund. The other car was the 63, wasn't it? The blue car trying to get down the inside, which is Lucchetti. It was an ambitious move to say the least, and the 83 car felt the impact of that one. The 87, sorry, of Frederick Lund, and found himself off into the gravel. Okay, here we go. Lead group is getting bigger. Are we going to see drivers beginning to make their moves now? Badoer is becoming increasingly more impatient every time we come up to Curva Grande, and this time he might have just found the run. He's had a few laps to look at how he can do this move now, a few laps to rehearse it. Now is his time when he executes and get himself into the lead of the race. To the outside, into the Rogier chicane. He's going to go all the way around the outside, was left no space, and he goes through into the lead. Lindblad will not be happy with that at all, because now his championship rival and teammate Ugo Chukwu is closing. Badoer sensibly letting Lindblad take the lead back. Has he given him too much of a gap though? Well, he had to do that. He cut the chicane to take the lead, so there's no way the stewards would have allowed him to keep that race lead. Good sensible driving from Badoer. In the background, Stuka right there with them. Up towards Ascari we go, and you can see Stuka trying to get down the inside of Tarponen. Crucially though, Ugo Chukwu got by and is in 3rd place, and that's a move from Stuka for 4th place as well. He goes through at Ascari into the final 10 minutes of the race. Keep your eye on Ugo Chukwu. That's the fight for the championship. He's got to get by Badoer and then challenge his championship rival, Arvid Lindblad. Same point scoring system as Formula 1, 25 for the win, 18 for second, so he can really close the gap in if he beats Lindblad to the flag. Round Parabolica, we've still got 9 minutes plus a lap of this. The drivers putting on a real show for the fans here and for all of us watching this live stream. It's been sensational stuff. Tarpanen's had a bad lap. He's down in 5th place now, was once in 3rd, and now he's being chased down by his teammate. But keep your eye on Ugo Chukwu. 3rd place for him. I remember watching him and Freddie Slater battle for a world final karting race all the way to the flag, and Ugo Chukwu won it at the line. So he's no slouch. He knows how to win races. He's got very, very good racecraft, and he's had it since a young age. We saw someone skipping across the chicane there, didn't we? I think that was Ivan Dominguez, and he's allowed James Wharton to go back through as side by side. Nicolas Lacorte goes round the outside there of Tuukka Tarpanen. Great move from Lacorte, but he didn't get a good run on the exit of the corner, and you can see them side by side up to Lesmo 1. Are they going to get both through safely? Somehow they do, and Tarpanen now has the inside into Lesmo 2. Wrestling with each other quite literally out there on circuit. Tarpanen back into place, but look at what that's done to the gap to the leaders now. And James Wharton's going to say thank you very much. He's now part of what is the chasing pack, and Dominguez is there, Bora is there as well, Pradel is there. Spina trying to catch them. He's 2 seconds behind that chasing pack. Here are the leaders. Badaware, ever since briefly taking the lead by cutting the chicane, is suffering a little bit now. He's lost a bit of a gap to Lindblad. Oh, no, we saw this car in trouble earlier. This was the number 83, was it, who we saw have an incident earlier. Is this Lucchetti? It is for Airflow Racing, the new team this season. And he picked up suspension damage by going over the chicane. And we've got a safety car. Well, that's good news for Tarpanen. That's good news for Wharton, Dominguez, Bora, Pradel. Not good news for Lindblad, and it gives us a chance to catch our breath back and actually go through the order. The leaders haven't really given me a chance to do that yet, so we've heard the leaders in all different orders, but the order they are currently in as they go down the start-finish straight is Lindblad, Badaware, Ugo Chukwu, Stuka, Tarpanen, Lacorte, Wharton, and it's interesting actually, I'm going to come back to this. Look how slow Lindblad is going down the straight. He wants this safety car to go all the way to the flag if possible, but if not, to last as long as possible. So he has slowed the field right up. And this is the kind of chess games we see in racing when we are fighting for a championship win, be it in Italian F4 or Formula 1. Arvid Lindblad, good driving from him. He's slowed the pace right down. You need to stay within 10 car lengths of the safety car, I believe it is, so he can't stay too far behind. He will catch it up eventually, but he's just taking his time in doing that. Very interesting to see. Lindblad leads from Badaware. Ugo Chukwu second in the championship, third. Stuka next. Tarpanen, Lacorte, Wharton, Dominguez, Bora, Pradel. That's your top 10. Just outside it, those are the drivers who currently will score points. Behind that then we have Spina, Elkin, and then it's Aldeheri, Beaton. Zachary David is in 15th, so hasn't quite made a huge impact. He's gained 6 places though, which is not bad going at all, but I'm sure he'll want to try and go and gain some more now. Then it is Ferreira, Egozi, Brumbakti next, Klus is 19th, Isha is 16th, then Liu, Narak, Frasinetti, Houseman, Blockina, Wiebelhaus, Aurelia Nobels, who had a spin coming through the first chicane after contact. So not good for her, but she will catch the pack back up now. Then Delator, and then Ahmed, Lucchetti, who we saw pulling off. Frederick Lund is in the pits, as is Quintarelli. So points, as I said, to the top 10. No rookie points, no points for fastest lap or pole position, sorry. So it's 25 to your winner, 18 for second, 15 for third, 12 for fourth, 10 for fifth, then it goes 8, 6, 4, 2 for ninth place, 1 for 10th. Same as it is in Formula 1. More importantly though, bottom left of your screen, safety car is going to be in this lap. Now, I had a chat with someone in the paddock a little bit earlier about this yesterday. Where does Arvid Lindblad put his foot down? Is it going to be coming in to Parabolica, or is he going to take the field all the way to the start-finish line when they are allowed to overtake each other again? It's going to be interesting to see what he does. I was given the opinion that he'll take it to the line, but I don't know. I think he might try and get his foot round Parabolica. Let's see what he does. I'm sure that's going through the heads of all of you at home as well. This is going to be a crucial moment in the race. Badoer is in his mirrors. He's right there behind him and just waiting to see when Lindblad is going to get his foot down. So Lindblad, Badoer, Ugachukwu, Stuka, Tarpanen, your top 5, 32 cars all in a line, and you can see Lindblad is running the clock down as much as he can here. He's going to take us round Parabolica, and it looks like he's going to do this all the way until the line. Oh, and he gets his foot down now. Well, that caught me out. It caught Badoer out as well. And Badoer is now under huge amount of pressure from Ugachukwu. Great restart from Arvid Lindblad, the championship leader. And in the tow is Badoer. He's side by side with Ugachukwu. Lindblad giving the tow now to Ugachukwu as they come down towards turn number 1. And Lindblad now going defensive. We're 3 wide. Kasper Stuka trying to get by Badoer. Ugachukwu's got into second place in that red and white Prema. And he goes through to second. Crucial move in the championship. Oh, 2 cars going straight across the chicane there. Both having to go through the cut through now, and that's going to lose them a lot of time. Oh no, we've got suspension damage. Oh, incident in the back there. 1 car going over the top of the other. And we could see another immediate safety car here if those cars are not in a safe position for us to continue racing. For now, though, we'll see it as Lindblad leading from Ugachukwu, Badoer, and you can see the damage of the cars behind. If they've all managed to keep going and get into a safe place, we can continue. But there is a chance the safety car could be imminent as Akshay Bora, I think that is, losing a place. He's going side by side with Dominguez in towards the second Lesmo now. All going off, but what's going on at the front of the field? What's the gap between Lindblad and Ugachukwu? The top 2 in the championship, first and second. Badoer trying to get his first win in third. Ben Tarpanen in fourth. Kasper Stuka in the all black there, comes to the inside of Lacorte, and he is going to retake 5th place, or is he? Lacorte round the outside, holds on to 5th. Fantastic driving from Nicola Lacorte. Oh, one of the Van Amersfoort cars going straight over the chicane. Did well to avoid the rest of the pack. That might have been Jack Beaton who cut across the chicane, but that is a guess. Didn't quite catch the number. However, we have Ugachukwu right behind Arvid Lindblad. He has a new leader to defend. Oh, no incident. Rashid Al Dahiri is off into the gravel and into the barriers. His race coming to a very dramatic end. Rashid Al Dahiri in the barriers, battling down to the last corner, but we're side by side for the lead. If there's a safety car, Ugachukwu needs to get by now, and elbowing Arvid Lindblad in towards turn number 1, and Ugachukwu hits the front of race 1 here at Monza. Arvid Lindblad will have to get by very quickly. There'll be a yellow flag out at minimum at that final corner. Are we going to see more arm wrestles going on down to the Rogier chicane? Round Curva Grande we go. Ugachukwu opens the inside for Lindblad, which will now become the outside as we come up to the Rogier chicane, and Lindblad doing the same for him, closing the door in his face, but Ugachukwu is going to have absolutely none of it and forces Lindblad across the chicane. He's got to be careful though, because look at Badoer trying to get through. Lindblad slowing up to allow Ugachukwu back by. Ugachukwu back into the lead, but for how long will it last? They come in towards Lesmo 2 now. It's Ugachukwu from Lindblad, from Badoer, to Tarpanen in 4th place. Then, behind that, it is Lacorte and Stuka. Down to Ascari. We will have the final lap of the race next time around, so 1 more run down the start-finish straight. Ugachukwu defending into Ascari, not allowing Lindblad to see the inside at all. And he is under investigation for what happened down the start-finish straight as well. So, as it always is, this will definitely be a provisional result. Black and white flag going to Ugachukwu, so maybe that is the decision. But let's see them now, down towards Parabolica. Yellow flags are out, no need to defend really for Ugachukwu. They Maybe saw them quite late, but that's going to give him a bit of a bad run out of Parabolica. Is whoever's in the lead first when we come out of Ascari should be our winner, unless someone can get a toe down the start-finish straight. But here we go. Ugo Chukwu defending from Lindblad. Is Lindblad going to be able to take the lead back from his championship rival? He pulls to the outside there. The Red Bull Junior trying to get down the outside. Badaware trying to get down the inside. Battle on the brakes we go. Oh no, Ugo Chukwu runs wide. Over the chicane he goes. Is he going to keep the lead? He's certainly going to have to slow pace up. And he does. He allows Lindblad to catch back up. This race is far from over. No overtaking allowed at the final corner. It's going to have to be here. It's going to have to be into the Rogier chicane, and Lindblad's going to give it a go. Just like last time, side by side, into the second chicane. Who's going to emerge in the lead? Lindblad cuts across the chicane. Well, he's going to have to do exactly what he did last time and allow Ugo Chukwu to get by into Lesmo 1. He does. Lindblad has to get by at Ascari. Contact there between Badaware and Tarpanen. Tarpanen slowing up to allow Badaware back through, might have damage to his car as well. That could open the door for Lacorte and Stuka as well. Our two championship leaders heading to Ascari. Who will emerge in the lead? It's been a fantastic drive from them both, but there can only be one winner in Italian F4. Lindblad can't quite get through, locks up the brakes as well. Lacorte going through into fourth place, and Ugo Chukwu is leading. Yellow flags are out, I believe, so it will be a run to the start-finish line. Well, there we go. Yellow flags out. Badaware right behind Arvid Lindblad. Is he going to be able to get through? Not quite. It's going to be a run to the line. Who's going to make it there first? Well, Ugo Chukwu started this race in P7, his championship rival on the front row, but he fought his way all the way to the front. And Ugo Chukwu is going to take the race win here at Monza in race 1. A fantastic drive from the American, and he closes the championship lead down to his rival Arvid Lindblad. Ugo Chukwu, well, he left it very, very late, but got there in the end. He takes the flag first. Sensational performance, a sensational race. That is one that will be remembered for a very long time. And is that part of what makes Ugo Chukwu the 2023 Italian F4 champion? We will find out as the years rolled on. There will be words exchanged after the race, no doubt. Lindblad, second place for him. Damage limitation at least. Badaware on home soil, it's not quite the win he wanted. He finishes in third. This was the Van Amersfoort car we saw going off. Did very, very well to avoid the rest of the field, I have to say. It was indeed Jack Beaton. Good driving from him. This was the incident, already damage going on, two cars colliding. Rashid Al-Dahiri had suspension damage to the front left, found himself rolling into the gravel. That meant yellow flags came out at the final corner for the final 2 laps. But what a race. What a race. It was a privilege to call that one. I'm sure Ian Salvestrine really, really enjoyed it, watching from Sano as well. I hope you enjoyed that one, mate. But what a drive from this man, our winner, Ugo Chukwu. As ever, results will be provisional, but he is the one who's going to stand on the top step of the podium and does very well to close down the lead of the championship. This is something that will definitely be investigated. Cut across the chicane going into turn number 1. Both Prema drivers, first and second, of course, as well. But out the final corner, it was Ugo Chukwu who came in the lead and took the race win. I commentated him winning a very historic win at the Miami International Final a few years ago. This will definitely be another that goes down in history as well. What a drive, a fantastic performance put on by the entire field, particularly the 8 to 10 cars, might have even been 15 by the end, that fought for the lead. One winner emerges in this championship, as ever in racing, that man, Ugo Chukwu. Sensational performance in a sensational race. Arvid Lindblad second, Badaware in third, Nicolas Lacorte, an absolutely fantastic job. He was in 6th or 7th for most of that race. He got P4. Stuka was 6th, just behind Tuka Tarpanen, then Dominguez, Spina, Wharton, Bora, Egozi, Pradel, Ferreira, Birumbakti, Elkin, Narak, Isha, Frasinetti, Beaton, Blockina rounded out your top 20. Wiebelhaus was next, and it was Hausman, Nobels, Delator, Ahmed, and then David had to come into the pits, as did Kloos and Liu. Aldeheri retired, as did Lucchetti, Lund, and Quintarelli. Well, Luka Chukwu out the car. Will take a little bit of time to calm down after that one, I'm sure. There you can see Arvid Lindblad in the Red Bull suit. What a performance that was. Here's what it does to the championship as well. As I said, the gap closes up. It goes down from 25.5 points. It should now be 18.5 points. 18 points it reads on the board there. Wharton next, Zachary David in 4th place. Is it becoming a 2-horse race? Well, Wharton will do his best to change that. But now let's go in here from our race winner, Ugo Chukwu.
So, what a spectacular race, an overtakes battle lap after lap that led you to triumph.
Yeah, starting for P7, I wasn't expecting to make so many positions. The slipstream was super big, so it allowed me to do some good overtakes. Then safety car restart, I managed to get a really good safety car restart and get into P2, and then challenge for the lead. So super happy, the pace was very good, we were quick, and I'm looking forward to race 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And indeed, if you enjoyed that one, there is still 2 more races to go. 8:40 local time tomorrow is when race 2 will be. Race 3 at 2:20 local time. Well, let's have a look back at this. I'm sure the highlights is going to be very hard to condense all that down, but it was Brando Badouer who around 30 minutes ago led us into turn number 1 for the first time. Lindblad slotting into 2nd place there, Tuukka Tarppanen into 3rd, and then side by side, round the outside, an absolutely fantastic move from Arvid Lindblad there to take the lead of the race. But Badouer would fight back. He fought very, very hard, and this was just one of the occasions where he managed to get the lead back. This time it was into turn 1. Incident through us the first corner here, which left Aurelia Nobels facing in the wrong direction. No safety car on that occasion. They still fought all the way. Lindblad having to defend round Curva Grande and into the Roger chicane. Into Rettifilo, we saw more moves. This one did not quite go as planned and left the 87 car of Frederick Lund off into the gravel. And then round Curva Grande, we were side by side once more. Badouer had been trying to set up a move on Arvid Lindblad for a number of laps. This time he gave it a go, but had to cut over the chicane, as did Tarppanen behind him. And then we saw Lund running straight over the chicane. In fact, that's the 63 car of Lucchetti. He eventually would come into the pit lane and retire from the race. And then we had a safety car, which left us with only a few minutes to go in the race. Lindblad would still lead, as we saw into 2nd place there. Ugo Chukwu, it allowed him to be part of that chasing pack. This is what brought the yellow flags out in the final corner for the last couple of laps. Rashid Aldeheri found himself with suspension damage and off. Lindblad tried to get round the outside of Ugo Chukwu, but had to cut over the chicane. He did that twice and allowed his teammate back through. And then this is where it all kicked off. Final lap into the Rettifilo for the final time. Ugo Chukwu locking up and going straight over the chicane there. They went side by side once again into the Rogier chicane, and Lindblad letting his teammate back through, having cut the chicane. And out front it was Ugo Chukwu who would go through to take win and close the gap down to his championship rival. And there's scenes of how it was after the race there. Lindblad and Ugo Chukwu both, I'd say, keeping themselves to themselves there. What a fantastic race those fans were treated to. Hope you enjoyed it at home as well. As I said, 2 more races still to come of Italian F4 this weekend. 8:40 tomorrow local time here in Monza will be race 2. And then race 3 will be at 2:20 local time. 30 minutes plus a lap each one as well. Just picking up the qualifying results from the second one. So tomorrow it will be Arvid Lindblad on pole from Brando Badouer. Row 2 will be Kasper Stuka and Ugo Chukwu. So many of the drivers who were in that lead group, all 4 of those, I imagine were at least first or second at once in that race. Then it will be Akshay Bora. He will be on row 3 with James Wharton. Tuka Tarpanen and Rashid Al-Daheri, whose car we saw on the recovery truck there. He'll be on row 4, so a good chance for Rashid to try and make some ground back up. Alfio Spina and Ivan Dominguez will be on row 5. Nicola Lacorte will have a bit more work to do if he's going to take P4. He starts outside the top 10. Much better performance from Zachary David. Will we see him fighting for the lead tomorrow? He's going to be in P12. Ugo Chukwu from P7 taking the win has showed that making a lot of ground is possible around here. And then we will see behind them Ariel Elkin and Gianmarco Pradel. Definitely some drivers down the field to watch out for, but we'll go through that grid in full tomorrow. For now, it's time for the podium celebrations. Coming out, we see Brando Badouer there in the orange and black Van Amersfoort race suit, finishing in 3rd place. Arvid Lindblad will be out next in the Red Bull suit. Here he comes, Red Bull junior driver, still in the lead of the championship, 2nd for him. I imagine a bit frustrated with that one. And Ugo Chukwu, the American driver, taking the race win along with Prema, who now have 8 wins around this circuit, which ties them with the Van Amersfoort team, who will leave with more races tomorrow. We'll have to find out. Will we see some new teams enter the frame? Winning team, Prema Racing, a 1-2 for them. A fantastic result, doing a brilliant job this season. The Prema team, 1 and 2 in the championship, with James Wharton chasing on as well. He ahead of Zachary David now. But now let's have the national anthem of the United States. Congratulations to our top 3. Ugo Chukwu, the winner of round number 3, race 1. 2nd to his left, Arvid Lindblad. To his right, we have Brando Badouer, the Italian, who I'm sure was given a lot of support from the fans in the crowd here. 3rd for him. He's got 2 more chances to try and take the win tomorrow. The Prema team out there, their 8th overall victory in Italian F4 around Monza now, as they try and add to their titles. Champagne will spray, lots of celebrations, but still some more races to come. Race 2 coming up at 8:40 local time tomorrow. Make sure you join us for what will be another cracker.